This episode of Man of Prestige that you will attract a good girlfriend. So, as a matter of fact, I would argue that I don't want you to be finding or be looking for girlfriend. Depends on how old you are. If you're of a man of a certain age, you're 29, 28, 30, you should be looking for a wife. You should be intentionally dating to look for a wife. That's two different things from looking for a girlfriend, right? So the idea of finding a girlfriend sounds very, very like a useless activity on the first surface, but I get it. You want companionship, right? Great. That's gonna be a byproduct. You're gonna meet people, put yourself out there, keep doing your thing, be engaged in your purpose, right? And anytime you see a nice young lady, give them compliments, be nice, be patient, right? And be interested in knowing a little bit more about them. And then, it's a byproduct. It will happen. I would say also learn how to be a little bit more proactive with making your intentions known. Like I like you, I like to take. All right, 5 tips how to find a girlfriend. Let's talk about how to find a girlfriend. Disclaimer: I haven't had to find a girlfriend in 14 years. Okay, but I want to share some timeless concepts with you that will work in any arena. Part of my disclaimer is that in this time and age, in the digital age, there's a forced sense of options. Okay, meaning you can swipe left, 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 right about 2,000 times in a day, especially if you're a man, and your rate of matches when you're swiping is probably extremely low compared to the women, and women has extremely high chances of matches. And what that tells me is that there's something not accurate there. There's a forced sense of options, because in reality, that's not how it works. If you're out here and you're dating in real life and you're putting yourself out there, you will find a lot more matches. If you're confident enough to talk to a little bit more ladies than an average person, you will find a lot more matches in terms of percentage than what you will experience on an app. An app is an app for a reason. There's a watered down sense of options or power. It's not real because you're not in real life with that person, right? So for example, like this video right now, the impact it has on one person is not indicative by the number of views, right? Because one person can really take this and run with it, and it can change their lives, right? And you will never see that in the numbers. Over time it will reflect in the numbers, but not in an instant, right? So that's some of the things that concept I want you to pay attention to here. Yes, it's digital age. Yes, there is a massive forced sense of options, and I do want you to feel like you have options, but the options you see on the Tinder, the fact that you see a bunch of women and you can swipe, those are not real options, because like you already know, the stats are probably going to be off. So you're not going to find as many matches as much as a typical woman will find, and that's a lot of energy you're spending in there too. But anyway, I wanted to share some concepts with you. There are 5 tips I want to share with you in terms of finding a girlfriend. Okay, tip number 5: a girlfriend is a byproduct. Okay, so shout out to TLA and the lead attorney in April Mason, and the whole idea of byproducts and all this kind of stuff. She called the man the byproduct. That's fine. The ladies can do that. It's okay. But you need to realize that a good girlfriend, is a byproduct of how you move. Your confidence level and all these different things. It's a byproduct of how you as a person moves. Another way of saying that is that you attract what you are, right? So, but let's keep it moving. Tip number 4: it's a numbers game. It's a number again. I said that earlier, kind of shortly. The more you put yourself out there, the more options you have, right? What does that mean to put yourself out there? Get to meet people. You don't have to ask them out on a date. You could just say, nice to meet you. You could say, what's your name? You could just interact with people. You could say, hey, interesting. You go to Spelman. Oh, yeah, I was thinking about going there. Initiate conversations, right? And give them a compliment, from a place of attraction, so you don't get friend zoned. Another topic entirely. But again, it's a numbers game. Put yourself out there. The problem with people that don't know how to put themselves out there is because they're attached to the outcome. They have too high expectations of every single interaction. Relax. Okay, relax. That takes me to tip number 3: confidence. Okay, Confidence comes from a few things. Experience, that's what I said, it's a numbers game. You gotta put yourself out there. Education, you're watching this video, subscribe to this channel. I'll keep bringing tips like this if you like this video, right? Then confidence also comes from failure. Maybe you're afraid of rejections, right? Well, experience a little bit more rejection, your confidence level will boost up. Okay. Now it depends on your outcome on the situation. Some people will experience rejection, and that would absolutely kill their confidence, right? Okay, so it's a double-edged sword like everything else. I'm just saying, when you experience rejection, what do you feel about that? Do you feel like that rejection was for you, or it's just not a match, right? Think about this. It's just not that deep. Okay, it's not that deep. You're not alone. Like, for the best of us, right? See how good looking I look, right? For the best of us, right? We've experienced rejection. It's no more, it doesn't matter how pretty the guy is, he's experienced a situation where the energy doesn't fit and the girl dismissed him. Okay? So I know you've seen a lot of numbers out there. You may feel like you're short, fat, and ugly. Probably not, right? But the point there is that don't worry about those things. Confidence is extremely sexy all the time, 100% of the time, okay? But don't get stuck on that. Don't get attached to any outcome, okay? Tip number 2, patient and kind. I'm not talking about being a nice guy. I'm not talking about simping. I'm not talking about doing things for girls with the expectation that she will reciprocate. That's basically simping, right? I'm talking about being patient, being a patient person, and being a kind person, right? And being nice too, not being a nice guy. A nice guy are two different things from being nice, right? A nice guy is somebody who is consistently being nice, thinking that they feel entitled, the sense of entitlement attached to it, or just being nice because you're a nice person. Okay, just being nice because you're a nice person is always going to be sexy. Being nice because you think that's what's going to get you somewhere in life, or well, that's going to get you somewhere in life, but with any particular one girl, that's entitlement, and that's going to backfire. That's simping behavior. It doesn't work. Girls don't find it sexy. Girls will never respect you. Women will never respect you if you act like that. Okay, they will tell you they respect you, by the way. You shouldn't expect them to tell you otherwise. You should know better. You're a man, right? So keep that at the back of your mind. Tip number 1, I think I've said this a few times throughout this, right? Detach from all outcomes. Okay, whatever outcome you have in your head when you're interacting with people, when you're putting yourself out there, detach from it. Okay, like I said earlier, tip number 5, the first one I gave you was it's going to be a byproduct. So it's going to happen when you least expect it. Okay, but again, you are a man. You should understand that numbers game is a real thing. The more you put yourself out there, the better. The higher the chances that you will attract a good girlfriend. So as a matter of fact, I would argue that I don't want you to be finding or be looking for girlfriend. Depends on how old you are. If you're of a man of a certain age, you're 29, 28, 30, you should be looking for a wife. You should be intentionally dating to look for a wife. That's two different things from looking for a girlfriend, right? So the idea of finding a girlfriend sounds very, very like a useless activity on the first surface, but I get it. You want companionship, right? Great. That's gonna be a byproduct. You're gonna meet people, put yourself out there, keep doing your thing, be engaged in your purpose, right? And anytime you see a nice young lady, give them compliments, be nice, be patient, right? And be interested in knowing a little bit more about them. And then it's a byproduct. It will happen. I would say also learn how to be a little bit more proactive with making your intentions known. Like, I like you, I like to take you out for a date. I like to take you out for a coffee. I like to take you out for a dinner sometime. Let's exchange numbers. Ladies find that extremely sexy if you can take that extra step. That's confidence, right? If you can, it doesn't matter how short, fat, and ugly you are. Trust me, it's always sexy to be able to do it. It's always interesting to be able to do that. What I find is that a lot of men that are complaining about the Pookies and the Ray Rays are taking all the girls. Basically, I find that most of them are simps. Most of them are socially awkward. Most of them they've had their heart shattered into broken pieces, and they're having a hard time to get over it. But let's get over it. Okay, I acknowledge that you've gone through something. The best of us. It's happened to the best of us, right? Now let's move. We move, right? There's a lot of nice, feminine, fit, friendly, cooperative young ladies out there that will happily engage you in a conversation, in interaction, in a relationship, because their spirit matches. But you got to put yourself out there. You have to be assertive, and you have to be aware of some of the social signals that affect these things. I'm not going to lie to you that if you are too reserved, you will lower your chances. Okay, if you don't put yourself out there, you will lower your chances. You got to get out there and start to meet people. Be interested in them. Okay, don't sit out there on the phone for 3 hours. Again, social signals you're going to be taken for granted. That means you have time for bullshit. Okay, but be assertive. Take your lady out on a date if you can afford it. If you can't afford it, get to know them over the phone. FaceTime dates is a real thing now, right? But it's all about the confidence, about the vibes. Like, the details doesn't matter. Manage your resources. Don't spend $200 a plate and then come back and complain and start cursing out all the ladies online. Don't do that. That's on you.